This antenna is a bit of a novelty. You get not one, but two antennas rolled up into one package. We're going to take a look at the K4QCD Dually antenna and see what makes this different than other portable wire antennas on the market. This antenna is certainly different. The K4QCD Dually is two antennas wrapped up into one package. On one side, you have an end-fed half-wave antenna with a 49-to-1 transformer. Flip it over to the other side and it's an end-fed random wire antenna with a 9-to-1 transformer. The dual transformer concept is the best of both worlds. Out in the field, you could go either way with the type of antenna you wish to deploy. The only difference is the length of wire that you're going to use to hook up to it. And I guess that level of versatility is the key to this antenna. End-fed half waves and end-fed random wire antennas have their unique advantages, and depending on the situation, you may want to choose one over the other. For example, I like to take an end-fed half-wave antenna with me if I know I'm going to predominantly work on the 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter bands. An end-fed half-wave will be resonant on those bands and work great without a tuner. But if I know I'm going to be on the work bands like 12 or 17 meters, or I'm going to get on 80 meters while portable, then I'm going to grab an end-fed random wire. I will have to use a tuner on all of the bands the non-resonant antenna operates on, but overall it will be more efficient on, say, 17 or 30 meters than using an end-fed half-wave antenna on those bands with a tuner. Plus, a non-resonant antenna only needs 71 feet of radiating wire for 80 meters, while an end-fed half-wave will require about 132 feet. Justin over at K4QCD and HF Antennas did send me one of his dually antennas unsolicited for this video, but my comments and experiences are my own without any outside influence. The Dually end-fed is a compact antenna kit that consists of two separate transformers. On one side is a 49-to-1 unin wound in a standard 12 turns primary and 2 turns secondary with the crossover in the middle that functions as an end-fed half-wave antenna without a tuner. On the other side is a 9-to-1 transformer in trifilar winding, which is the base for a non-resonant antenna system. There are binding posts for either the 49-to-1 side or the 9-to-1 transformer side, and a common binding post for a counterpoise. Two B and C connectors are supplied, one for each transformer. This antenna is intended to be used with only one side at a time. As this is an antenna kit, you will receive two T140-43 ferrite toroid cores, one for each transformer, and 4 lengths of 18-gauge enamel-coated magnet wire. 3 of the wires are used with the 9-to-1, and 1 is used with the 49-to-1 transformer. This toroid and winding combination should allow for 100 watts phone and about 35 watts CW or data operation. Higher power levels may be used temporarily before the core saturates. The ingenious part of this kit is that everything is built on a double-sided printed circuit board. That streamlines the wiring of the transformer, especially for the 9-to-1 side. After you wind the transformers, you just need to put the wires through the appropriately marked holes and solder them in place. So how does this kit go together? Well, let's assemble the Dually and then put it on the air. With the instructions for this antenna, there isn't a whole lot of guidance on what length of wire your radiator should be. For my testings, I made 2 sets of radiators. For the end-fed half wave, I'm using 66 feet 6 inches of wire. That will give me 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter band operation without a tuner. For the end-fed random wire or non-resonant antenna, I'm using 71 feet of wire. This wire length does not resonate on any of the amateur bands, and with a wide range tuner, I can use it on 80 through 6 meters. Now the wire I'm using is a silicone insulated 20 gauge stranded wire. I used 2 different colors so I could differentiate between the 2 different lengths out in the field. But I'll probably add little flags that are marked with the lengths and the type of wire so I don't mix them up. Now for a counterpoise, I'm using 22 feet of 20 gauge wire. This length will work with both the end-fed half wave and the end-fed random wire, so I don't need separate counterpoises for these other 2 radiators. Now, what wire length is best for you? Now, that's going to depend on your operation style and needs. For a resonant end-fed half-wave antenna, the formula is a 468 divided by the frequency in megahertz, and that will give you a ballpark wire length for the lowest band of operation that you wish to choose to do. For a non-resonant or random wire antenna, it gets a little bit more tricky, as you need to pick a length that does not resonate on any frequency. Now, fortunately, there are people that have done all the math, and I'll recommend a couple of websites you can go to and see some great charts for non-resonant wire lengths. But from my experience, if you want to do 80 through 10 meters, use a 71-foot piece of wire. It works really well. If you want something shorter, 43 feet is great for 40 through 10 meters. And if you want the absolute shortest bare minimum that'll get you on the air 40 meters and up, try 29 feet. Resources for wire lengths can be found in the video description down below. Well, enough of ruminating on wire lengths. Let's get this antenna on the air. This is KB9VB, our Parks on the Air, QRZ.
November 4, Bravo Delta Tango.
November 4, Bravo Delta Tango 59 into Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
Sorry it took so long to answer. You're 59 into South Alabama. Love your videos. Keep up the good work, sir. Good luck.
Hey, will do. Thanks a lot for Alabama today. You have a great day, 7-3. The Park to Park station?
Whiskey Bravo 5, Lima, Juliet Oscar.
Was it Whiskey Delta 5, Lima, Juliet Oscar?
Whiskey Bravo.
Whiskey Bravo 5, Lima, Juliet Oscar. I typed it in wrong, but got you corrected. At your peak, you're a 5-3 here into Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
Roger, you're running 5x4 into US 4514 in New Mexico. US 4515 in New Mexico. Over.
All right, well, thanks a lot for the 4515 in New Mexico, and you have a great activation today.
Very good. Your call again?
My call sign is Kilo Bravo Niner Victor Bravo Romeo. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. WB5LGO. Take care.
You too. You have a great day, 7-3. Was there another Park to Park out there?
DX.
The DX station.
Foxtrot 5, Papa Yankee, India. Hello, Mike.
Foxtrot 5, is it Florida Yankee India?
Florida 5, Papa Yankee, India. Papa Yankee, India. That's Larry, Mike. QSL.
Papa Yankee India. I thought that's what it was. Just had a dropout there. You're coming in 5-3 here into Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
QSL for the 5-3. I'll take it and give you both ways 5-3, 53 into France. Merci beaucoup and have a great activation, Mike. Merci beaucoup, 73.
All right, hey, thanks again for France. Always a pleasure to get you in the log. You have a great day. 7-3 and ciao.
Thank you.
This is KB9 VBR, Parks on the Air, QRZ.
Whiskey, Kilo Bravo 7, Tango Golf Romeo.
Kilo Quebec 4, November Charlie Foxtrot.
Kilo Quebec 4, November Charlie Foxtrot, 5-7, Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
Thank you for the park. I have you as a 5-7 into coastal Georgia. 5-7 into coastal Georgia. Thank you for activating the 73.
All right, hey, thanks a lot for Georgia today. You too, you have a great day in 7-3. Was there a station starting Kilo Kilo?
Kilo 7, Golf Tango Quebec.
Kilo Kilo 7, Golf Tango Quebec, you're a 5-1 Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
USL Anchor 5-1, nearby 5-3, Southwest Montana, Mike Tango.
All right, hey, thanks a lot for Montana today. You have a great day in 7-3.
73.
And this is KB9 VBR, Parks on the Air, QRZ.
Yankee Echo Alpha. Quebec, Charlie.
Charlie, Uniform 3, Hotel November, QSL.
Charlie Uniform 3, Hotel November, nice signal. You're a 5-7 Wisconsin, US 1467. Back to you.
Okay, Michael, thank you for 5-7. You are 5x5, 55 in Azores. Thank you for POTA activation. This is Charlie, Uniform 3, Hotel November. Thank you, bye-bye.
All right, hey, thanks a lot for the Azores. Always appreciated to get that country in the log. You have a great day in 7-3.
Bye-bye, thank you.
This is KB9 VBR, Parks on the Air, QRZ. So what are my experiences with the Dually end-fed antenna? Well, critiquing this antenna is a bit of a challenge as it didn't come with wire, so I had to make a decision on what length of wire I was going to use for the end-fed half-wave and the end-fed random wire. As an end-fed antenna, it works as described. With my 66 feet 6 inches of wire used as a 40-meter end-fed half-wave, the 49-to-1 transformer did its job, and I had a reasonable SWR of 1.5-to-1 or less on 40, 20, 15, and 10 meters. My wire was a tad bit long, so it did perform better at the bottom of the 40-meter band than at the top. Shortening the wire a bit would have kind of tightened up things a little bit, probably lower those SWRs just a tad. For the end-fed random wire, I chose 71 feet of wire, again hung it in a sloper configuration, and using the 9-to-1 transformer, the SWR on most of the amateur bands was around 2-to-1 or so. On the upper bands, and at 40 meters it was about 6-to-1 and 7.5-to-1 on 80 meters. Again, those measurements were totally expected and it worked just fine with my external tuner. My on-the-air tests, I made about 99 contacts with the end-fed half-wave mixed between phone and digital on 40, 20, and 15 meters, and about 35 contacts on digital with the end-fed random wire on 30, 40, and 80 meters. Band conditions were typical summer propagation. I did manage a little bit of DX on 20 meters with the end-fed half-wave, and my signal reports on the digital modes seemed to be pretty well matched what I was sending and receiving, while only running about 25 watts of transmit power. So on a performance standpoint, the antenna works as expected as an end-fed half-wave or end-fed random wire. But let's talk construction, because that's where this antenna shines. I really like the idea of the printed circuit board platform for this antenna. Once you get the toroids wound, soldering everything together was a breeze. You're supplied with plenty of wire for the transformers, so they're pretty easy to wind. You do have some extra wire if you do make a mistake. I also like this clear heat shrink covering. It shows off your handiwork while protecting the transformers. But there are a couple of critical points I'm going to make about the construction. First, I think the instructions could probably use a little bit more refinement. The instructions on assembling the antenna are good, but I think they can be improved. I feel like if this was my first end-fed antenna kit, I may be struggling a little bit with understanding the instructions. Second, the antenna has 3 contact points. One for the 49-to-1, one for the 9-to-1, and then a common connector point for the counterpoise that's shared between the 2 transformers. But it only comes with 2 of these wing nuts. It's understandable, as you can only use 2 connections points at a time. But in the field, I know those wing nuts are going to get dropped, they're going to get lost, they're going to go away. So having a spare wing nut with you might be the difference between a successful or a failed portable operation. If you're going to use this antenna in the field, I recommend carrying spare wing nuts with you. Finally, I'd like to see a little bit better recommendations in the antenna's instructions on wire lengths. While we are amateurs and we should know the length of a half-wave radiator, hint, hint, the formula was on the test, I'd still like to see some charts for reference so you can kind of pick a preferred wire length, be it an end-fed half-wave resonant radiator or an end-fed non-resonant radiator. So who is this antenna for? Well, having 2 transformers in one package is a novel concept, and it does give you the best of both worlds. You won't be saving space in your kit though, as you're still going to be carrying 2 sets of wire with you. But this transformer opens the door to experimentation. Since the wire isn't permanently attached to the transformer, you can pick and choose a wire length and a transformer style that's going to meet your needs out in the field or given operating objectives. And I give this antenna really high marks for that concept. Now, final words. Building this antenna on a printed circuit board made construction relatively easy, and performance is on par with any other end-fed antenna that I've used. If you can't make up your mind on what kind of antenna to use, and you want to experiment with various lengths of radiators, the Dually is a great choice. Well, thank you to Justin over at K4QCD HF Antennas for supplying the Dually kit for this review. This antenna is available directly from his Etsy page. Links are in the video description down below. If you have any questions or comments about the Dually end-fed antenna system, we'll leave them down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts on this very unique double transformer. But that's it for this time. I'm Michael, KB9VBR. You have a great day in 73.